The morning sun rose gently over the quiet town, but inside Mara Whitfield's heart, a storm had been raging for years, refusing to calm. She knelt beside her bed with folded hands and whispered prayers that felt heavy on her tongue, asking God for a godly man, a future filled with peace, and a love that would finally heal her. Yet even as daylight streamed through the window and touched her tear-streaked face, her heart remained tangled in memories she could not release, bound to a past she claimed to have surrendered but secretly held onto with trembling fingers. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that heal the soul, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Journal. Your support helps spread hope to hearts that may be hurting quietly, just like Mara's. Mara was known in her church as a devoted woman, always present during daytime services, volunteering during community outreaches, and offering warm smiles to strangers who needed encouragement. Her faith appeared steady from the outside, but every prayer she lifted carried an unspoken ache. Years earlier, she had loved deeply and trusted fully, only to be left with promises broken and dreams scattered like ashes. That relationship had ended in betrayal, not dramatic or loud, but slow and devastating, like watching something beautiful quietly die. Since then, Mara had built walls around her heart, convincing herself that prayer alone would erase the memories. But faith without healing had left her standing still while life moved forward around her. Each day unfolded with gentle routines. Mara worked at a small bookstore that welcomed sunlight through wide glass windows, filling the space with warmth and the soft scent of paper and coffee. Customers often noticed her kindness, the way she listened carefully and helped them find books that seemed to speak directly to their souls. Yet during quiet moments, when the shop emptied and the afternoon light stretched long across the floor, her thoughts drifted backward. She remembered the way she once laughed freely, the way she trusted love without fear. Those memories hurt the most, not because they were painful, but because they were beautiful and gone. Mara's prayers became more desperate over time. She asked God to send her a man who feared him, someone patient and gentle, someone who would love her the right way. But beneath those prayers lived a contradiction. Her heart still measured every potential future against a past that no longer existed. She compared feelings, searching for familiarity rather than peace. Every time she met someone new, her spirit recoiled, not because they were wrong, but because they were not him. And so she waited, mistaking emotional attachment for loyalty, and unresolved pain for love. The turning point came on an ordinary afternoon, bathed in bright daylight, when Mara attended a church-led volunteer event at a local community garden. Surrounded by laughter, soil-stained gloves, and the simple joy of service, she felt a rare sense of calm. It was there she noticed Elias Harper, a quiet man with thoughtful eyes and a steady presence. He worked diligently without seeking attention, helping others without expecting recognition. His faith was not loud, but it was evident in the way he treated people and the peace that seemed to follow him. Mara felt drawn to Elias, yet also unsettled. There was no rush of intense emotion, no overwhelming spark that mirrored her past. Instead, there was a gentle curiosity and a sense of safety that felt unfamiliar. This confused her. She had prayed for a godly man, but when one appeared, her heart hesitated. She questioned why something good felt so uncertain. Deep down, she realized she had learned to associate love with emotional chaos, and anything calm felt undeserving or unreal. Days passed, and Mara found herself reflecting deeply during quiet mornings and sunlit afternoons. She began journaling her prayers, writing honestly for the first time instead of presenting polished words to God. She confessed her fear of letting go, her addiction to familiarity, and her reluctance to fully trust again. For the first time, she admitted that she was asking God for new blessings while clutching old wounds. That realization pierced her heart, but it also opened a door she had long kept shut. Mara started to understand that healing was not about forgetting the past but releasing its control over her present. She realized that her prayers had been sincere, yet incomplete. She wanted God to change her circumstances without first transforming her heart. As sunlight filtered through her window one morning, she wept not from sorrow, but from surrender. She asked God to help her let go completely, even if it meant facing loneliness or uncertainty. She prayed for courage to accept love that looked different from what she once knew. This internal shift did not happen overnight. There were moments when old memories resurfaced, especially during quiet afternoons or familiar places that triggered nostalgia. But instead of running from the pain, Mara faced it with faith. She spent time in reflection, sought wise counsel, and leaned into God's presence during daytime walks where nature seemed to remind her that seasons change for a reason. Slowly, the grip of her past loosened. Elias remained present in her life through church activities and community service, never pushing, never demanding. His consistency spoke louder than words. Mara began to notice how peaceful she felt around him, how her spirit rested instead of racing. There was no emotional roller coaster, no fear of abandonment. Instead, there was respect, patience, and shared values rooted in faith. She realized that this was the kind of love she had prayed for, even if it did not match the image she had clung to. One bright afternoon, as Mara sat alone in the bookstore watching sunlight dance across the shelves, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. Not for a relationship, but for the healing that had taken place within her. She understood now that God's timing was not delayed, her heart had simply needed preparation. The man she had prayed for was never meant to replace her past, but to walk with her into a future free from its shadows. As weeks turned into months, Mara's joy became evident to those around her. Her smile carried lightness instead of longing. Her prayers shifted from requests to gratitude. She no longer asked God to fill a void but thanked Him for restoring her wholeness. Whether or not a relationship blossomed, she trusted that God's plan was unfolding exactly as it should. This story is not just about finding a godly man. It is about learning to release what once felt irreplaceable, trusting that God's best often looks different from what we expect. It is about understanding that unanswered prayers sometimes reveal unhealed places within us, and that true love begins with surrender. If this story touched your heart, reminded you of your own journey, or gave you hope, please take a moment to like, share, and engage with this video. Your interaction helps this message reach others who may be silently struggling. Before the ending, we have a special request. Please comment below and share what this story made you feel or what season of life you are currently walking through. Your words might be the encouragement someone else needs today. As the sun continued to rise each morning, Mara walked forward with faith, no longer chained to yesterday, trusting fully in the God who heals, restores, and makes all things new.